Western politicians, including British politicians, have created a mass rape industry. Yes, a rape industry of their own women and children who are unwilling participants. I mean, it has happened before in the past, but mostly governments and empires have always done that to their enemies. This is the first time we are seeing Western politicians doing it to their own women and children. And on a scale that should horrify you. Listen to this German man. I mean, read the subtitles.
Betreuen ja auch inzwischen, wir sind mit über 1000 Opferfamilien gesagt. Wir betreuen inzwischen aktuell 36 junge Frauen, die Opfer sexueller Gewalt geworden sind. Ja. Auch dem sogenannten Phänomen Massenvergewaltigung, was wir vor 10 Jahren, 15 Jahren gar nicht kannten. Das jüngste Opfer, was ich betreue, ist von 3 Syrern über Stunden hinweg vergewaltigt worden. Sie haben auf sie uriniert, sie mit Kot beschmiert, sie haben sie geschlagen, getreten. Dieses Mädchen ist 10 Jahre alt. 10 Jahre alt. Erzählen Sie den Eltern, erzählen Sie diesem Mädchen einmal irgendetwas von Therapien oder von sonstigen.
Nein, das will
Diese
ich auch
Menschen
gar
sind
nicht.
nicht therapierbar, in dem Hin schon alleine, dass unsere Ausbildung der Therapeuten auf mitteleuropäische Stellschrauben an diese drehen, sind auf unsere mitteleuropäische Sozialisierung ausgelegt. Ob unsere Psychiater jemandem aus dem Nahen Osten etwas erzählen oder in China fällt ein Reißsack um, da kommt überhaupt nichts mehr raus, weil er die Stellschrauben nicht bewegen kann, zu dem diese Menschen sozialisiert worden sind. Das heißt, wir sind gar nicht in der Lage, diese Menschen zu therapieren.
Even these psychiatrists who are supporting these girls, they're not equipped to it because they don't know. They don't know how to deal with this. They don't know what to say because when we see most of these perpetrators are from third world, primitive, backward cultures. How do you approach that without touching your other sensibilities? Like, oh, racism, different cultures. No. Race has got nothing to do with this. Culture's got nothing to do with this. That's what they keep telling themselves that. When in reality, it's no coincidence that almost all of them, overwhelmingly, men from patriarchal, backward, primitive societies, mostly Muslim societies. Look at this one. Look at this collection of headline. Afghans make up less than 0.1% of the British population, but in the last few years, that's all we've seen. Afghan man jailed for 7 years in Scotland for raping a woman. Afghan asylum seeker jailed for raping a girl, 12 years old. Afghan man guilty of raping 2 teenage girls. Man convicted following rape of 2 teenage girls in December. Afghan asylum seeker jailed after raping 13-year-old girl. Afghan man pleads guilty to rape, kidnap, and sexual assault. Afghan migrant, Afghan asylum seeker. They're all the same. Everywhere you look at, this is what that guy was saying. And in Germany, it's the Syrians. They are Western politicians are literally offering their girls and women as tribute to these future conquerors, to these invaders. You cannot hate these people enough. Did you see the facial reaction of that woman? I think she was trying to push back against it because she was like, oh, I don't know. It's probably more complicated than that. That's what you got to do. Look at this. Look at the face she pulls. She's like, oh, when he says this girl is 10 years old, look at the face.
10 Jahre alt. 10 Jahre alt.
No, surely it's got nothing to do with culture. That's what's going through her head. She doesn't want to blame an entire culture when that culture behaves like this. Look at this. This fresh video just came out of Hong Kong. Yeah, because apparently Hong Kong and Japan, they're also falling victim to this because once you reach a certain level of prosperity, you don't make babies. And when you don't make babies, you need cheap human labor. So they import these people who know nothing other than making babies. Look at this. This Bangladeshi man, look at him. He's holding a big dagger, goes around randomly stabbing people. This woman was stabbed repeatedly. I'm not going to show you that, unfortunately. And then he's cornered. Look at that. That woman is eventually ushered away. That's her right over there. And she's ushered away. And look at this. Look at this. Swinging it, going after people. Oh, another one gone. Import Islam at your own risk. Whoever thought that bringing in third worlders will be okay? En masse. Of course, if you bring in their best and brightest, and you bring them in small quantities, so they are under pressure to not to create their own ghettos or parallel societies, but they're forced socially to integrate and assimilate, then it works. It kind of worked in America at the start, or maybe it didn't work. I don't know. Maybe it never worked. We're seeing the same thing that happened in Europe: ghettoization, Islamization, no-go zones. That's happening in Australia. That's happening in America. It's happening in Canada. It has already happened in Europe. Europe is gone. Europe is not coming out of this without violence. Look at this. This video just came out. Look at this. This just happened in France. Another Muslim homie walking around with a knife, threatening to stab people. And he's swinging his knife at everyone. And eventually he's subdued by the locals. Every time you step out of your house, it is likely that you're going to run into one of these nut jobs that have been imported en masse by Western politicians. They're helpless. They're like, oh, we don't know what to do. These people are coming in. We don't know what to do. These people are escaping war. Why don't you hug them? They're actually trying to gaslight people, and they're telling people that they should adopt a refugee. Oh, let me tell you what happens when you actually adopt a refugee, because there are some fools. I'm sorry to say, there are some fools. Yesterday, I covered a video where I showed you about those lefty women who fall in love with these people. Remember, there was an American-Irish woman. Unfortunately, she was killed by her Palestinian boyfriend. Her dead body was found by her daughter. And then there was another aid worker. She was killed in Greece by another Afghan. Of course, Afghans. And 2 women yesterday. One was killed in Spain, and another one was held hostage for 2 days until she was rescued. Both were by Moroccan men. And today, another news story just graced our screens. Let me show you. Look at this one. This Spanish activist, woke lefty liberal woman. I'm not reporting this with glee. I'm reporting that with caution. But who's going to talk to these women? Who's going to talk to them? Spanish activist loses her own home after taking in a migrant. Estibaliz Cortazar, a far-left Spanish activist from Basauri, did what foolish women do. These are these guys' words. I'm just reading it. She opened her home to a North African migrant out of solidarity. You know? Once he got what he wanted, the man started sexually harassing her, insulting her, calling her puta and parasuka, watching porn in front of her and making her life unbearable. You let a fully grown foreign man into your living room and he's watching porn. He's like, yeah, do you want to join? Yeah, you puta. Are you out of your freaking mind? I wouldn't invite another man as a man, let alone being a woman. I don't know. I'm telling you, these people have a fetish. They have a fetish, okay? It's a messed up thing, but they have a fetish. He stopped paying rent, refused to leave, manipulated, changed the locks, and effectively took over the house. She called the police for help, but the police said, we can't do anything. All right, now you want the help of the police. By the way, there are there is a group of Spanish men who go in to these usurped houses or illegally occupied houses by squatters, and they go in and they forcefully drag them out because the police can't do anything. The police say, well, sorry. Because all of these advanced countries, they have the laws against squatting. Yeah, you can't just, or even tenancy laws. So if someone fails to pay rent, because if someone's living there or doesn't pay rent, then they can be perceived as a family in distress. So you can't really break in, even though they're renting it, but even though they're not paying rent. But these laws are fine. They're catered for civilized Western societies, right? Now you throw in a sub-Saharan African in the mix. Oh, yeah, he doesn't care about your laws. He's like, oh, really? Your police cannot kick me out? Great. Here I am. Come, puta, get me. Kick me out. So there are a lot of Spanish people who have lost their houses to these people. And as a result, consequently, a group emerged where they're going in and kicking these people out. So anyway, so the response, we can't do anything without a court order. There you go. She's now sleeping at relatives' houses, seeing a psychologist after a nervous breakdown. Oh, betcha. She looks like one of those people who would scream in your face. She looks like one of those people. She's one of those people. Refugees are welcome, you white supremacists. So she didn't die. So, you know, I can actually take a bit more liberty. If she had died, I thought she had been hurt or something. So I was being a bit more cautious. Now I'm not. Yeah. This is the face of the left's idiocy. These freaking retards because of their fetish, they're bringing all of us down, and has launched a petition to fast track the legal process and get our home back. I wish you never get your home back, as long as that black guy is there, as long as he never go, as long as he's in Spain. I wish he lives there and you sleep on a couch. By the way, I've played this video before, yeah? Most people, they know.
I'm just wondering if you'd like to go down on a list saying you're willing to take the refugees into your home.
Of course not. Only problem is I rent.
You rent?
Yeah.
Maybe an issue?
Yeah, because they've got, well, they've put 9 bedrooms in a 4-bedroom house, so we're pretty much jam-filled.
So, to actually adopt a refugee and take them into your home?
Well, if I had any space, I would.
If you had any space.
That woman did. So most of these lefties are actually very clever. They don't let them in. But some do. Some do. This is why I am forced to say that these people have a fetish. These women have messed up, weird fetishes. I'm telling you that. This is not normal behavior. This is a well-observed behavior. I can't play you the video. I actually said that before. I pasted the link in one of my videos. There is a video of a woman, Spanish woman. She even has a lanyard across her neck. And she is doing it with a refugee like that in the middle of a street. In Spain, I think it was. I can't play you that here because obviously that would be classified as that would classify as indecent. So anyway, so you know, when you zoom out, as I said, it always makes sense. Islam is making a comeback. Islam was shut down after the end of World War I, and even before that, it was a century of humiliation for the Ottomans and for the Muslim world. Now they're making a comeback. That makes sense. But why is the West allowing it? That doesn't make sense. Now, I understand it takes time for societies to mobilize and to unite behind a single cause. You have so many moving parts, so many dominating narratives, and it's difficult. Or the bigger you are as a civilization or as a country, the harder it is to make you unite over something. So we see that the West is divided at the moment. It's polarized. You know, we're so divided, so polarized. But often through countries and civilizations' histories, something happens that unites people. Usually it's an external threat. Usually when you go to war with a foreign country, then you get united. The biggest example of that is Ukraine. Even anti-Zelensky people in Ukraine, you know, they stood behind him. They criticize him, which proves that that's a democracy and Russia isn't. Russia is run by a tyrant, I'm sorry to say, Putin. And you criticize Putin, you go to jail. You criticize Zelensky, it makes global headlines. But when it comes to putting up a brave, united front against Russia, they all get united, even those who hate each other. I think that's what we need in the West. But in order for that union to emerge, we need to explain what is actually happening to people, because people are unfortunately very selfish. It wouldn't happen. I always say this, all these refugees are welcome people. They will not change their opinion or position unless they're physically, personally affected by it. For example, like this woman, I doubt she's refugees are welcome people after that. I actually know a couple of people who used to work for humanitarian organizations, but once they saw what is happening, they were like, what the hell? So the West will eventually have to fight back, but I think this war is going to last a while, because kudos to them. Kudos to Islamists and Muslims. They're doing a really good job. They are making serious inroads all over the West, and Europe, unfortunately, has already fallen to them, but America remains the final frontier, and that's where things are going to get interesting all over the Western world.